beautiful friends. I wanted to welcome you today on a different kind of a garden tour. I thought today I would focus on my Panicle Hydrangeas and talk to you about them, show them to you how they're doing in my garden, and really show you the fall color on these hydrangeas. Because if you live in a cooler climate like me, I live in zone 6 in Toronto, and these change a beautiful pink. They take on different pink hues in the fall with the cooler nights, and it's a beautiful transition that these go through, and they look stunning in the fall garden. So I just wanted to spend some time and show you the hydrangeas in my garden. This here is Quickfire Fab. It's third season in my garden, and it's really a very beautiful hydrangea. A newer introduction from Proven Winners. It's supposed to be pinker than Quickfire, the regular Quickfire, and it's got a different flower shape. I mean, it has got more of the panicle, kind of conical, almost like a rounded ball shape in its blooms, but it is a very beautiful hydrangea. It's also earlier blooming like the Quickfire. Quickfire is one of the earliest blooming hydrangeas in the garden. I think by June it's putting out its blooms, and it's turning its color pretty early as well. So this here has been changing into these colors for quite some time now. Since August it's been this kind of color, and it's intensifying in September, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. It's supposed to get, I think, 6 feet tall. It's, I think, about 5 feet in my garden right now, maybe a little less than 5 feet, but it's gorgeous. And you can trim these in the spring or late winter and keep them a little bit smaller if you want, but it's actually really beautiful, and it's well behaved. I love its shape in the garden. It is planted beside a Bobo hydrangea. Bobo is I think this is its 4th year in my garden. It was a little rescue twig that I found in a grocery store, really not doing well. And this year has taken a little bit of time to get used to my garden, but this year it's done really well. Typically for me, Bobo hydrangeas, at least the ones I have, will just turn from white to brown. They really like crisp and dry out instead of developing any sort of fall color. But this year is the first year I'm seeing, maybe they are more settled in the garden, that's why they are changing colors. But it's got this really nice beautiful panicle, which is more soft. It's more open and delicate. The flowers are much smaller, but they are regardless very pretty. So here is Quickfire Fab, and here is Bobo. So really pretty together. I'm loving the trio of the sedum, the Quickfire Fab and the Bobo, creating this like pink glow in this part of the garden. I'm gonna step back so you can see how they look. I'm just loving them so much in my garden that I just really wanted to show you these colors. They are absolutely gorgeous. Let's walk over and show you another one. In the back there I have a Firelight hydrangea. So this is also its 4th year in my garden. It's about maybe 5 feet tall, but it's also turning into this beautiful pink color. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm hoping it gets much more taller next year. I haven't really pruned this hydrangea. I'm letting it grow tall because I do want it to grow tall and get over this fence so that it can look fabulous in this spot. So loving it. I just love how pink and glowy this one is. It's changed into a beautiful color. Let me zoom out and show you how this is looking. It's looking absolutely beautiful in this garden. And I have a Quickfire planted right beside it on this side, and it is got really pretty soft pink color. As you can see, it's not as bright as the other ones, but it's got a really nice open flower, and it's really pretty, very lacy looking, very delicate, and this is going to get quite a bit tall as well. It can get up to 8 feet tall. So really excited to see how this one does. It's put on a lot of growth. It's still in its 4th year, so I'm thinking it's going to take a little bit more time for it to get taller. But I am loving these 2 hydrangeas as well, and they are absolutely beautiful in the garden. And in the fall garden, they add so much charm and so much beauty to the fall garden. As you can see, it's just a beautiful soft pink, and then this one is a more of a vibrant deep pink, and it's looking really pretty. Let's take a look at another hydrangea. This one is Little Lime. So Little Lime has a different sort of a pink to it. I actually really love this pink too, because it looks very antique. It's got a very nice lime green to the flower, as you can see, and it's got those pink edges, and it's just this two-tone look to it. Like, look at this one. Isn't this beautiful? So it's just aging really, really beautifully in the garden. It really looks like an antique, something antique that is really, really outstandingly beautiful. I'm loving the look of Little Lime. Little Lime is another smaller hydrangea. It gets about 3 to 5 feet. I'm trying to keep it around the 3 to 4 feet size, because it is planted in this border here, and it's 4th year. I think I have 2 plants in here, and they are doing well. As you can see, this cosmos is trying to lean over and take over. I need to stake it, but if I move it, you can see how beautiful these blooms are and how stunning this hydrangea is looking. There's the other one. So absolutely stunning. I'm loving the color change on this one, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Another look at Quickfire. This is a standard that I have, and it is also changing its colors. Very, very pretty as well. It's got a really nice soft pink color, and it's absolutely stunning. I just love these shades. They glow in the fall, and they look absolutely beautiful. And the brown areas, they almost look orangey, and they look so beautiful with the changing fall colors. Like, pink is such a beautiful contrast to orange tones in the fall. Just loving how this one is looking as well. This here is a Pinky Winky standard. The Pinky Winky blooms are aging very pretty as well. They are really large blooms, and they have a really nice soft pink as well, almost like the Quickfire. It's got beautiful, beautiful tones of pink, and it's looking really, really pretty as well. And it's catching the light, and it's looking so spectacular in the garden. I'm just loving how this one is looking in the garden, and I love how the banana leaf is looking with this Pinky Winky as well. So just stunning how this is looking. This is again Pinky Winky. This is a standard. It's been in this ground here for 4 years now, and it's absolutely stunning. This here is a Pink Diamond standard. This is its 3rd year in the garden. It was a very damaged standard that I found for $10 at the end of the season 3 years ago, and I picked this up, and it's done really well. I think it's very similar to Pinky Winky. It's got really nice long panicles, and the colors on this Pink Diamond are just as beautiful. So I think it's filling in, and it's getting more and more rounded as the seasons go by, and I'm excited to have this one in my garden as well. It's really pretty, and it's soft. It's not very bulky, the blooms, and they look very delicate, and the pollinators love this one. And right beside it, I do have another Bobo hydrangea, which is also this year. Like I said, they haven't turned brown. They are changing a very nice soft pink color, and I'm loving the color change on the Bobos as well. Just absolutely beautiful. So here is a Little Lime Punch. So this Little Lime Punch is 3rd year in my garden. It is also turning a beautiful pink. This one is supposed to be much more vibrant than the Little Lime. regular, and I'm finding that it is a little bit more pink. But then this is the first year it's actually given me any blooms. It took a couple of years for this plant to settle. So I am assuming next year this is going to be glorious. It's already looking so pretty. It's got this punchy pink and lime green, and it's not very different, at least in my experience, from the little lime, but I think it's going to be. It's got really intense pink, much more intense pink. As you can see, it still has the lime, but it does have a much more intense pink to it, and it's looking really, really pretty. Let me step back so you can see it. It's just beautiful. And here is another quick firelight hydrangea. This one gets a lot more shade than the other ones in the front, so it is aging a little bit slowly in terms of color change, but it's really beautiful as well. Look at the blooms on this. I mean, there is no brown on it yet. I mean, I could cut these and dry them as well, but they are just beautiful. They make excellent cut dry flowers if you want to dry your hydrangeas. They are excellent. I don't usually do that. I love to just leave the blooms on the plants all winter and enjoy them for winter interest. They look fabulous. So this is a firelight. It's gorgeous as well, and it's also its fourth season in this garden. It's growing, but it's not growing as quickly as, I mean, it's wider than taller at this point, so I think it's going to put on some height next season. Just beautiful. Okay, so this is Limelight Prime. I'm not sure if I am in love with this Panicle Hydrangea. I would have much preferred to have a quick fire fab here because I think it would look amazing. But because I have planted it here, I'm giving it some time to see how it's going to do. I'll tell you why I don't love it. I mean, it's very similar to little, I don't know if it's, I mean, I think the blooms on little lime are bigger than this one, for one. The bloom size is very tiny for me, at least. I don't know if others have a different experience. Maybe it's the location it's planted in, I'm not sure, but it just hasn't really looked, you know, bold and amazing that the photos show. But maybe it needs some more time in my garden, but it is aging beautifully. It is getting those beautiful pink colors, and it's getting much more punchier pinks, and it still has a little bit of lime in it. So it is the Limelight Prime, and we will give it some more time in this garden to see if it does better. Here is a grouping of more Limelight Primes. These plants were moved from a different location. They were in my raised bed. I moved them to this location. It gets a little bit more shade here, so I'm just curious to see if they will do better in the shadier spot for me. They did put out blooms this year. They were transplanted in spring, and they're settling well. So I'm hoping that they fill in next year. We'll keep an eye on these next year, and I'll let you know how they do next year. I'm actually really liking them here. If they stay 4 feet, I can keep them as a small hedge around this shady border here, and I'm just loving how they look here. I'll end this video with another Limelight Prime. So this is another one planted in a different spot in my garden, and the blooms on this one are much larger, so I think maybe it just needs time, and once it's kind of going to settle, it's going to put out some better blooms. From what I can see, this one is doing much better. It has this longer stalk, and it has the shorter area, so this is kind of really growing very abstract. So I have to see. Very open habit on this plant right now, so we'll see how this one does in the garden. And this beside it is vanilla, strawberry vanilla. This one has a much subtle pink to it, as you can see. It didn't put out a whole bunch of blooms this year for some reason. I'm not sure. It hasn't really. Last year this one was looking a lot better, but this year, as you can see, it hasn't really put out that many blooms, and the blooms that it has put out have it dried, and I don't know, this hasn't really done so well for me. But overall, it's been amazing for hydrangeas. My front yard hydrangeas and side yard hydrangeas are doing a lot better. It could be because the soil condition is much better and richer. So we'll see how these do. They're still doing well, but you know, it's just been amazing in terms of color change this year. I'm loving how they're looking in the fall. So again, I would love to say that hydrangeas do offer a beautiful display in the fall with their color change, and they look amazing in the garden. So I just wanted to walk around today and show you all my hydrangeas. I hope you enjoyed this little panicle hydrangea tour of my garden and the different varieties that I have. And I will catch you very, very soon in another video. Here's a little look of my backyard today. It's just glowing. I'm standing at a spot where I usually don't record from. It's at the back of my garden, and I'm just loving how this is looking. This is a little messy for fall and a little bit of this transition, and I'm just loving everything about it. The mess, the garden, the leaves falling everywhere, and just the joy of the transitioning season. So thank you again for watching. I hope you have panicle hydrangeas in your garden. I love them. As you can see, they add so much color and beauty to the garden, and they keep on going till frost. And even in the winter, the blooms will add so much to your winter landscape. So thank you again for watching, and I hope to catch you very soon in another video.